Trace the eastern edge of mainland Southeast Asia, and one country flows down the map like a ribbon. This is Vietnam, about 331,000 square kilometers stretched between China, Laos, Cambodia, and the South China Sea. It runs more than 1,600 kilometers north to south, yet its narrow central waist is only a few dozen kilometers wide. Hanoi can be cool and misty, while the far south remains tropical. Typhoons arrive from the sea, rivers descend from distant uplands, and almost every region faces a coast that has carried traders and ideas for centuries. More than 100 million people live inside this S-shaped frame. To understand Vietnam, we have to fly it from end to end. The journey begins in the northern highlands, where folded ranges press against China and Laos. Phan Xipang, the country's highest summit, rises above the Hoang Lien Son Range. Below it, farmers have carved rice terraces into slopes around Sapa and Mekong Chai. These fields are practical engineering: narrow steps, slow water, hold soil, and turn steep ground into farmland. The mountains are also a cultural mosaic. Hmong, Dao, Tay, Thai, and other communities maintain distinct languages, textiles, markets, and traditions. New roads bring tourism and income, but also pressure on landscapes and local life. From above, the terraces look ornamental. On the ground, every contour records labor, rainfall, and adaptation. East of the mountains, the Red River spreads into a broad alluvial plain. This delta has supported dense settlement for thousands of years, and near its center stands Hanoi. The capital combines the lanes of the Old Quarter, lakes and temples, colonial-era boulevards, concrete neighborhoods, and expanding towers. The river carries sediment from the uplands, while a vast dike system has long protected farms and settlements from floods. Today, urban growth is absorbing villages and fields into a larger metropolitan region. Yet life still gathers around street markets, courtyards, small restaurants, and lakeside public space. Hanoi is the northern delta compressed into a city, where an old river civilization meets a rapidly modernizing economy. Continue east and the land seems to dissolve into Ha Long Bay. Limestone towers, arches, caves, and forested islets rise from green water, shaped by tropical weathering and deep geological time. The UNESCO property of Ha Long Bay and the Cat Ba archipelago covers more than 65,000 hectares and contains 1,133 islands and islets. This defining image is also a living environment of fishing communities, ports, tourism, and fragile marine ecosystems. Boats thread through passages that change with fog, sun, and tide. The challenge is to protect exceptional geology and biodiversity while managing heavy tourism and an industrializing coast. From the air, Ha Long feels imaginary. Its beauty is real, and so is the responsibility that comes with it. South of the Red River Delta, Vietnam narrows between the Annamite Range and the sea. This central corridor is a chain of beaches, lagoons, river mouths, and mountain passes. Hue preserves an imperial citadel beside the Perfume River, tied to the Nguyen dynasty and Nach court music. Farther south, Da Nang has become a modern coastal hub, its bold bridges backed by steep green hills. Nearby trading towns show how Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, and European connections overlapped along the coast. Central Vietnam is spectacular but exposed. Typhoons, intense rain, and floods regularly test cities and farms, squeezed into a narrow strip. Geography gives the region its beauty, trade routes, and many of its risks. At the southern end of Vietnam, the Mekong divides into a maze of channels before reaching the sea. Rice fields, orchards, aquaculture ponds, towns, and roads occupy land barely above sea level, while boats move through canals like vehicles on streets. This has long been one of Vietnam's great food-producing landscapes, supplying rice, fruit, and seafood at home and abroad. But the delta is changing. Rising seas, saltwater intrusion, erosion, subsidence, and altered upstream flows pressure farms and settlements. Adaptation may mean changing crops, restoring mangroves, managing water more carefully, and making room for seasonal floods. The Mekong Delta is not a static green carpet. It is a vast living system negotiating a new relationship with water. Vietnam's history repeatedly follows its geography. Early states grew around northern rivers. Centuries of rule from Chinese empires left deep influences, yet independent Vietnamese dynasties emerged in the 10th century and gradually extended southward. Ports joined regional trade, while Cham culture shaped much of central Vietnam. French colonial rule later reorganized cities, plantations, and transport. The 20th century brought conflict, division, and immense human loss before reunification in 1975. In 1986, Doi Moi reforms opened another chapter of market-oriented change and global trade. These eras remain visible in citadels, railways, temples, churches, and trading houses. Vietnam is often described through wars, but its longer story is also one of state building, migration, commerce, and cultural exchange. Ethnic Vietnamese people form the large majority, but the country officially recognizes dozens of ethnic communities. Their homelands extend from northern valleys to the Central Highlands and Mekong region. Vietnamese is the national language, written in a Latin-based alphabet with tone marks, while many other languages and traditions endure. Living heritage includes northern call and response songs, court music from the former imperial capital of Hue, Central Highland gong culture, southern chamber music, traditional circle dances of the Thai people, and Cham pottery. These are not museum labels. They are performed at festivals, practiced in families, and reinvented by younger generations. Vietnam is increasingly urban and connected, yet regional accents, ancestor traditions, village institutions, and community arts still shape identity. Its culture is strongest when differences remain visible and alive. Vietnamese food maps the country in edible form. Northern flavors often feel light and balanced. Central cooking can be aromatic and intensely spiced. In the south, tropical produce and more sweetness enter the bowl. Pho may be the global ambassador, but it is only the beginning. There is charcoal-grilled bun cha, banh mi in a crisp baguette, fresh rolls, turmeric noodles, broken rice, and countless soups. Meals thrive on contrast: hot broth and cool herbs, salty fish sauce and bright lime, soft noodles and crisp vegetables. Coffee tells another story. Robusta beans from the Central Highlands are filtered slowly over condensed milk or ice, turning a colonial-era crop into a Vietnamese ritual. The quickest route into this geography may be breakfast. Vietnam's largest urban engine is Ho Chi Minh City. Along the Saigon River, towers rise behind older shophouses, markets, and warehouses. Landmark 81 signals recent ambition, while new metro lines and satellite districts reveal a city still being assembled. Motorbikes remain iconic, but logistics, technology, finance, design, and consumer services drive a far more complex metropolis. The city connects closely to ports and industrial provinces across the southeast, creating a huge production and consumption zone. Growth brings opportunity, but also congestion, housing pressure, heat, and flood risk. Here, rural migrants, global capital, and local entrepreneurship meet at full speed. If Hanoi embodies the Northern Delta's continuity, Ho Chi Minh City expresses Vietnam's appetite for reinvention. Vietnam's economic transformation is one of Asia's major recent stories. Since Doi Moi, the country has moved from deep poverty toward middle-income status and built an export economy tied to global supply chains. Electronics, machinery, garments, footwear, furniture, and food products leave its factories and ports. Trade now equals roughly 170% of GDP, revealing both the strength and exposure of this model. World Bank data put the economy near $476 billion in 2024, with strong growth in 2025. The next stage will be harder. Vietnam wants to retain more design, technology, and high-value services while improving energy, skills, transport, and local suppliers. The question is no longer whether Vietnam can manufacture at scale, but how much value it can create and sustain. Beyond famous bays and beaches, Vietnam holds mountain forests, limestone caves, dry coasts, tropical islands, mangroves, and two great delta wetlands. Nearly half its land area was classified as forest in recent World Bank data, although forest quality varies. Rare primates, elephants, bears, and endemic species survive in fragmented habitats. Growth has improved millions of lives, but it increases demand for land, sand, water, and energy. Coastal development, pollution, wildlife trade, and climate change add pressure. Conservation cannot mean sealing nature away from people. It requires healthier rivers, connected habitats, resilient farms, and cities designed for heat and flood. Vietnam's landscapes have long been engineered by human hands. The task now is prosperity without erasing the natural systems beneath it. From northern terraces to southern waterways, Vietnam is defined by motion. Rivers move sediment. Cities pull in people. Factories connect distant markets. Old traditions travel into new forms. The country aims to become a high-income economy by 2045, but the path demands difficult choices. Productivity without exhausted workers. Urban growth without unlivable cities. Clean and reliable energy, and delta development that can survive a changing climate. None has a simple answer, yet Vietnam's geography has always demanded adaptation, and adaptation is one of its deepest strengths. From above, the country looks like a slender ribbon between mountain and sea. Closer in, it is more than 100 million lives shaping one of Asia's most dynamic stories. This is Vietnam, seen from above.